Hello, and good morning. Hi. Sorry, I know. I left for a little while here. And, yes, hello. Looks like, both, Vale and Pan are here. Awesome. So let's see, last time we saw them, did Lancelot punch them in the face in training? They exploded? Yes, exactly. He was basically insta-killing everybody with Fist Punch. That's how he now has Berserk, apparently. But yeah, so yeah, best game, exactly. And game ADHD, well, I mean, it happens. So it's actually kind of a funny thing that I've noticed. Yeah, people seem to get pissed off every time I put, like, two or three in a row of a particular thing. Like, if I put more than two, for whatever reason, like, 5 people leave on YouTube. It's just like, hell if I know why. It's just how they do it, I guess. So yeah. So yeah, typical me not paying attention to chat. Not exactly. So what happened? Like, I sat down, I started this whole thing, was getting them... these are basically the last 4 units in the team, or that I can afford so far anyway, that don't have fist fight. So I'm trying to get that on them, so that they at least have a fighting chance of getting through this thing. And, well, turns out, that didn't exactly work out so hot. My daughter walks up, like, Dada, Dinky, Dinky! So, like, she's trying to say stinky every time that she has a poo diaper. And so she, like, runs up to me and, like, and I'm looking down, like, I had just changed her, like, maybe 15 minutes ago. Like, I don't know what it was that she ate, but we're talking, like, that diaper stood no chance. Like, she's just there with, like, a brown splotch, like, on her leg there, just, like, it just blew right the hell out. There was nothing. There was nothing. So, no chance whatsoever. So, yeah, I kind of had to go take care of that. It was, a little bit gross, to say the least. Typical dad stuff, what can I say? By the way, I like to think that this layout looks a little bit better today. Actually, I like this background for the TO, or just for any of the strategy games that I'm going to be doing. So, I like this background, because, yeah, conveniently the Griffin emblem winds up being just right on that right side there, you know? So, kind of just fits in neatly. So yeah, these guys shouldn't take too long. I'm only gonna do fist fight training early on, just to get some stuff going. See, lack of consistent schedule really hurts. The Twitch text tiny isn't good. Okay, I'll go ahead and get that enlarged. Where is that button? I think that button's over here. Let me go find that button. Yeah, it seems to be over here. Chatty box. There we go. And let's go make that sucker huge. Make it huge. Oh god, though. I don't even want to do that impression. Just, ew. Feels gross. Alright, rather not streaming the same things on a given day. Well, fine. I'll actually finish one. See, like, that's the thing. They're polar frickin' opposites. I'm used to the YouTube thing where, like, if you post 2 or 3 of the same thing, everybody pisses off and like, oh, why didn't you do this other thing? Like, dude, I didn't quit it. I just wanted to get this run done. Why are you so mad at me? So, like, later today, I was planning to try and, you know, continue on that XCOM 2 run that I was doing ages ago with the Armored Core pilots in there. And yeah, like, I think that's been the nicest so far in terms of a what happened, did you die kind of thing. Which, to be honest, the only reason I stopped doing that one is because I don't... like, the only reason I was able to do that one when I did it is because I had several hours during the day where I couldn't work, and, like, the internet sucked really bad, so I would just upload a video during the night, because AT&T had sold me some really crappy internet, so, like, during the night I could leave it uploading, and it would take, like, 7 to 8 hours to upload a 30-minute thing, and yeah. Ultimately just kind of put that aside because when trying to stream it, it ends up getting locked every time. So there's that. Anyway, we're almost done with the fist fight training here. We're probably just going to wind up with 2, maybe 3 that end up getting their emblems. Hell, sometimes it's only just 1 and they end up curb stomping the entire team. But we'll see how it goes. Everybody else already has one. And to the couple new folks that just showed up, just so you know, the main reason I'm doing this, and actually the main challenge with the Mermaids, is the fact that they have a permanent negative to all of their stats. As in, whenever they're on land, which is going to be like 90% of the game, you get a massive penalty to all their stats. I think it's like 50% effectiveness across the board. So 50% less defense, 50% less offense, and yeah, typically a bit of a challenge there. Now the fist fight emblem will more or less carry them through the first few fights, at least up until we can get pikes. So pikes, the earliest you can get a pike is the Formido Fortress, I believe, and that's kind of an RNG thing, so we might not even get one. But if we get one, that'll be very effective. Huh. Oh, and fair warning, unless you get raided, it's a bad idea to call out new people joining. It'll usually make them leave, unless they say something. Well, fine. Fair enough. We'll go do everything differently. Alrighty. So yeah, how's the, should I turn the text chat back to white? Because now that I'm looking at it, that's pretty iffy. Some people just like to lurk. Fair enough. I understand that. I just figured I would go ahead and throw the rules out there. I was thinking about keeping a little, you know, maybe I'll make a little text box. Where is text box? Can I make one? Text. There we go. I can make a text. Wait. Add new source. Okay, can I just make a word box? Sorry, I'm trying to see what this lets me do. Definitely call out Pro Cow every time he joins, though. Someone has to keep the cows honest. Exactly. Gotta make sure. Otherwise, we'll have a catastrophe. By the way, Pan, Seraphim, aka Vale, is the guy that I keep referencing in each of these runs. Yeah, he's the guy behind the Mosquito run. The hero behind that. Also, yeah, I tried to set a text box, and now it's infinitely loading forever. Okay, well, let's go ahead and see who got their emblems. And also, let's change that chat text back to a nice color that we can actually see. Okay, font settings. Yeah, I feel like white will probably do the job pretty okay. Actually, let's... no, we'll do white. It's nice and visible. There we go. Never have been at the same time, but to catch Potato talking about it in the replays. He's the one who knows how to make really, he suggests really fun meme runs, let's put it that way. Yeah, so he's the guy that's been, Vale, Pan's the guy that's the head of the SRPG Discord and the Reddit thing, who's been kind of explaining how to do this old Twitch thing properly so that I stop scaring people off. Like, stop scaring everybody! Why do you keep talking about friggin' diapers? Alright, so, did we seriously only get one that got the fist fight? Okay, Tresh got a fist fight? Yeah, we only got one. Wow. Wow! Okay, that was a complete waste of time. Well, at least we got Tresh with a fist fight. I should probably rearrange them based off that, but screw that noise. So, let's go ahead and equip you accordingly. Give you a little bit of a shield, give you a bit of an axe, because the fish stick needs to be able to defend herself. Because once again, we are entering the world of survival fish stick horror. If you didn't know, by the way, when it comes to the fist fight thing, the reason that I'm hyping it up so much is because, yeah, that thing hits as hard as a claymore. I believe their damage is pretty much equivalent, so there's that. So yeah, you get end game damage right off the bat. Alright, let's give you a little bit of armor. Let's give you a hat at least. I mean, whatever we can afford. On top of that, you can actually keep their speed pretty high. Alright. Then we'll give you a sword. And hell, why not 2 swords? What about 3 swords? I wish I could, but I can't. So yeah, Baldric gonna be in a little spot of trouble over there. Flesh spraying over here, pretty much unstoppable. And yeah, let's go ahead and handle Vespa. Sorry. My guy's about 99% asleep right now, so hopefully I don't embarrass myself that well. I think you'll be fine. You don't embarrass yourself. You have those awesome stories every time. Oh. Not feeling good there? Not feeling good again? Yeah, it's a rough time. Any improvements later, man? Sorry, any improvements lately? Sorry, I didn't exactly sleep either. That was more for baby reasons. Okay, we got 5 out of 8, 6 out of 8, 7 out of 8. So we can't even afford a full party at this point. Yeah, that's a bummer way to start any day. Alright, let's go ahead and move you over here. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and give him these, so that he's at least a little bit faster. See, about the same, getting stuff done, so I consider that a win, getting it done. Yeah, how's the publishing going? I like last I saw you were mentioning that it was pretty much all getting done, and yeah, hadn't heard anything since then. Then again, Slack never seems to bother like telling me anything, so there's a pretty decent chance I missed something. But yeah, he's an author. Makes very darn good books. Actually, Tresh over here is one of the characters from one of them. Or 2 of them. Several of them? Several of them. We're gonna go with several of them. There does other editing stuff too. I'll just let him explain that though. Alright, we're getting a little tiny bit of lag here, so let me go ahead and see if I can get rid of some background stuff here, because it's probably Streamlabs being weird. Yeah, dude's good at writing stuff. So that's actually a funny story, because I was doing I think I was doing stuff for One Vision, and then yeah, he was suggesting that it would be kind of funny if somebody tried to play through the entire series with just fairies. And so I went ahead and started doing that, and funnily enough, he started writing like a proper fanfiction story throughout the comments, throughout all of it. So that mess was hilarious. So ultimately, Steve just became this thing that was just some rando character at first, and then just became some bizarre fairy pimp that ran out of a church, leading what was basically a fairy fight club. And ultimately becoming some like god of death by the end of the story. But yeah, I'll let him explain the coolness. Explain all the coolness of those stories. So this first fight, I don't think we'll end up losing anybody because we got some extra levels on them, and again, fist fight hits like a dang truck. Unlike the ferry run though, there's actually a pretty okay chance that these guys will get rocked. Thing is, there's no healing options aside from items, so there's no ranged heals whatsoever. Well, aside from having Ivana in the party right now. On top of that, we don't really have any significant offense to speak of, so we'll see how that goes. I think Crichton did that. Name does not ring a bell immediately, but I'm sure I'm forgetting something, as I usually do. You know, I kind of wish the chat thing gave you an option for stretching it out lower. Because right now it doesn't even have that as an option, it's just one square. I'd like to have it stretching all the way down the screen, but I can't do that. Oh, he blocked my punch. But yeah, for the time being, up until like maybe 5-6 battles into the game, Mr. Alphonse over there is basically One Punch Man. He's going to be either one-shotting or two-shotting just about everything on the map. So, that's always nice. She's over here, like, what's she going to do? She's got 37 with a longsword, so he's doing 27 in response. Longswords we can't even buy yet, so he can do that. And yeah, he does 55. Sometimes doing, if he can do 100 plus on a crit, I believe. Because there's some freaky scaling with unarmed for whatever reason. Also, hang on just a sec here. Hello again. Alright, yeah, sorry about that. Well, man got himself a little bit stuck. Stuff like that happens, I suppose. Okay, so yeah, for comparison, Baldric over here freaking doing 20s. Over there, they're doing, like, what was it? 50 with punches. So, consistent. Okay, so we're at least keeping up consistent offense. That's a bit of a plus, and we can actually get a longsword early here by punching out this guy. And he's dead. Let's see. I missed a bunch of chat here. Let's see here. Not chatty chat. Let's see after that. I realized he was going to suffer. It was only right that I tried to him up along until he failed. But yeah, no, that run's been surprisingly fun so far, though, I will say. It's like some may call it suffering, I call it amusement. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a matter of perspective, but I absolutely love me some masochistic challenge runs. Alright, so I feel like Fishstick here is going to need a little bit of help, so I'll go ahead and give them this stone swiftness. You know, like in before they immediately get murdered 5 seconds from now, but for now we'll assume that it's an okay thing to have on there. I'm a nice guy, well thank you. I appreciate it. I think y'all are nice peoples too. But yeah, try to be nice. Generally speaking, if life's taught me anything, it's just don't be a douche. It's been like a running theme for a long time there. Just like try to get along with everybody because you never know when you might need friends. So yeah, it's good seeing that Lodis fans. So you haven't played an Ogre game I didn't like? Yeah. It's weird because, yeah, even when, like, even at their worst, they can still be pretty darn amusing. Like, hell, even during some of the, extraordinary bits of grinding that Lux has sometimes, like, I still have fun with it. There's, I mean, there's improvements to be made for sure, and that's why I covered that mod so much, because, like, just that thing is completely my jam, because it basically took the balance from this and slapped it on down. I'm like, yes, I have exactly what I wanted. But, see, he talked about Tactics Ogre a lot. It does sound like him in a good way. And yeah, so yeah. Pan was a guy that basically took over that thing, which has gone surprisingly well. Actually, recently, I've been a little bit surprised that we've been getting more and more people every day. We've been getting like 2 to 3 people hopping in there every day since passing 500, so I'm not sure what exactly triggered, but yeah, that mess is looking nice. It's good times. Now, Baldric here looking a little bit like they're about to die, so let's go ahead and pop a little bit of a leaf on you. Should probably be conserving these a little bit, because again, cash is going to be hard to come by later. We really don't want to be taking scaling fights later, too. So random fights may well just be death incarnate, but we'll see. We'll see. That was one of the issues that came up last time. It was very difficult to actually survive a random encounter. But okay. Let's see. Press ganged Potato into slave laboring for it. Yeah, well, you know what? It's been fun. It's been alright. Think some stuff got done there. Actually, caused me to put together a bit of a resume as far as writing random stuff goes. So that bit's been alright. Started writing articles again because I was doing articles for Armored Core for a little while, and funnily enough, got through about half the series, and it's been, I don't know. It's weird because it's difficult to be a fan of Armored Core. I'll put it that way. Like, it's a series that keeps shooting itself in the foot over and over and over. Both from a official and community standpoint. Like, on the official side, every time that they put out a sequel, they completely don't pay any attention to what actually made it popular, and then just make weird assumptions years down the road when they're thinking about a sequel. Like, oh man, we made one over here, and people loved it in the reviews. Oh man, but we've made a bunch of sales in the US. That must mean we need to turn it into a shooter. We need to make everything brown. And then they released 2 sequels after that, in which, like, the one that did really well there, for the sake of reference, was AC4 Answer. Awkward name, really fun game though. Feels like a lot of the games that I like have really awkward names. But yeah, the main fun thing was just the fact that you could move around like an absolute, like, it was, what, like, you know how, like, you have the whole Gundam-looking situation? It's like, imagine that, but not in space, and you have full control over everything. Like, it felt amazing. Like, you basically could pull off all the standard maneuvers you'd like to do, but it was kind of balanced like a fighting game. It's just like it felt so good. And then yeah, they just turned it into like a weird brown shooter situation because a few people complained that it was too fast compared to the originals, which I don't think many of them realized just how fast the originals actually were. It's just most people on their casual runs had a tendency to stick to pretty slow builds. But yeah. Wait, this isn't Tactics Ogre. Yes, it is. It's absolutely a Tactics Ogre. This is like fishy Tactics Ogre. Never mind. How is this not Tactics Ogre? This is exactly Tactics Ogre. Did you... Wait. Confuse it with FFTA? You know what? Actually, speaking of doing an FFTA run, probably... Okay, I've been specifically told to stop doing like a bajillion runs at once, but pretty soonish I was actually doing a challenge run of FFTA, namely a Tinker-only run, which... So yeah, earlier was talking to Rakes about some ideas for One Vision, and I was like, man, what are the odds of taking the summon mechanic and applying it to a bunch of the spells or whatever, and like making some weird ghetto version of the Tinker from FFTA? I was like, I don't understand why you like the Tinker so much, and basically immediately my brain just went to I need to do a Tinker only run. But yeah, this is Tactics Ogre, exactly. So Tactics Ogre is the thing that later inspired the FFT games in general. So this one kind of came out at a weird midpoint between all of them, but yeah, this is kind of its early version, I guess you could say. Actually, it's more of just like a different format of the same game. There's less emphasis on weird skill builds and more about different equipment on different units, kind of thing. Let's see, Pan is doing a Moogle only run because I was expecting. It's because I was expecting OV64. Well, I'll be doing the. I'll be finishing up the ferry run pretty soon, I hope. Like right now, like people have told me there's like 40 scenarios, and I know I'm past the 20 mark. So yeah. But yeah, Moogle only sounds pretty darn fun. Yeah, when did that start? When were you doing the Moogle only run? This is the first I'm hearing about that. Because yeah, friggin' Tinkers, man. They're the most useless class I've seen in anything. I absolutely gotta do a run with them. Ah, man. I friggin' love doing those kinds of challenges. It's just fun, you know, it's just good fun. Ah. Oof. Get that crit out of here. Dang crits. Funnily enough, this actually came out around the same time as FFTA, because apparently Square absolutely hates Tactics Ogre, so they need to put out like an FFT game at exactly the same time as a Tactics Ogre game every single frickin' time. Why do you hate your own stuff? I mean, I guess technically they just kind of bought it, but still, it's just mean. It's like, stop picking on this series. It's a really good series. Give it a chance to live. Why you gotta do this? But yeah, funnily enough, I actually picked up both of them at the same time. And yeah, this one, at first, I almost completely shelved right off the bat just because of the music. And then later on I got into it and then just became absolutely obsessed with this game. So yeah, there was no B game during FFTA 2. Yeah, unfortunately not. There was actually supposed to be. I found out recently, there was an interview that Evan H. Had sent me a little while ago. That was basically a just a really badly translated at that, a version of a Japanese one. Actually, I think it was just Google's auto-translator that was doing it. And basically it said that around that time he had put in to do a third Ogre battle game. And it was like, you know, I got all the thing together, I got all the pitch together, I sent it in, and they looked at it, and they're like, hey, you're going to go work for Square now, goodbye. And so he did. So, yeah, Quest didn't make this one, and Atlas published it. Yes, this is true. So, I don't know the exact timeline, the exact dates are never really published anywhere as far as all that goes. It's just, like, vague allusions to different things and all that. But yeah, no, this wasn't one of the Quest ones, and but yeah, all the same though, the actual, like, the pitch was out there, the plans were out there, and it just never really came to fruition, unfortunately. But such is life. So I think this last backup archer is gonna go ahead and actually survive this fight. Just want to give them a little bit more experience for punching them in the side of the head, as you do. It's only 4 experience, but it'll add up over time. For now, we need every single point that we can get on everything. So there we go. Cressida might out... Wow, 1% dodge. Nice job. Nice friggin' job right there. So is this a mermaid run? Dang straight it is. So the deal with the mermaids is that, yeah, they suffer a massive penalty to all of their stats because they're on land. So this doesn't actually show up on their character sheet anywhere. But as you can, why is my select button not working? Apparently I don't have a select. There it is. There it is. So since they're, oh god dang it, what button was that? This one. So aquatic can move 1 step below the water surface as normal. They have strong advantage fighting in water. What they don't tell you is that, yeah, they take a 50% stat penalty when out of water. So that's always fun. But this is kind of like a follow-up to the fairy run, wherein, yeah, went through the entirety of, so far, 3 of the games, just using fairies. So that was, I feel like, a nice little warm-up to the utter, very likely crap show that this will be. Because I've actually used mermaids just because I didn't have any units other units laying around during the castle fight, and oh my god, they get absolutely murdered in that one. Like I think they actually, yeah. So yeah, you'll rattle stomp anything on water. True. However, the water disappears like a little below halfway through the game, so it's like basically the Rana fight is one of the only times that there's actually going to be a massive water advantage. You might think that during the dragon fights, like during the dragon fight where you're saving Eleanor, like there's technically water there, and she runs to the water, but up until then, yeah, you gotta fight them on land, otherwise they will absolutely own her. And then, yeah, immediately you go to fight her on a volcano, so guess how much water's there. And yeah, then after that, the entire map freezes over, and then you never see any water ever again, except, again, for that castle map, where you see the moat, and it starts on your end. It's just there as a visual thing. There's no actual functional water past that point, except for a few maps where there's maybe a few water tiles. But yeah, no, they're a little bit trash, just a little bit, a little tiny bitty bit. Yeah, it's like that's exactly the point. Like I want to see how it'll work. So the reason I'm wondering whether this will even be possible. Oh, what's up, kiddo? Need your stuff turned on here? Here. There you go. There you go. Where are you going? Gonna go jump on the trampoline? Alright, you do that. Anyway. So what I was getting at here, with the fairy run, I had given them max levels, given them every single offensive emblem, had given them friggin' soul weapons, like Snapdragon and crap. And even still, they just barely did the same damage that Alphonse would do at that point, like just on a regular run. So, like this with the penalty that they get, I kind of wonder how this will turn out. I actually didn't mean to go to Formido yet, but I guess we're about to have an interesting time. So this is the first quote-unquote boss fight of the game. So gotta go beat this guy right here. I actually meant to go back to town and pick up more items, but we're now under-leveled. Oh man, we're screwed. Let's see, did you decide on the games without mermaids? Are you using Lamia for that? Yes, I think so. I was thinking so, because yeah, that's, technically speaking, I wouldn't imagine it would be too different. I think that, I think I have the right pieces to slap together a code for that. But yeah, ideally, Lamia's. Probably Lamia's playing as Juggernauts. Or not Juggernauts, what's it? As Hoplites would be the way to go there. Because then, yeah, they'd have their spear specialty, and that's about it. So, let's go ahead and start this thing. Because, you know, all you need for the mermaids in this is, A, their stats need to be utter garbage. They need to be specialized in spears, and they need to, they need to be able to put people to sleep. So, yeah, gonna be setting that up. Now, as far as Flesh Spring here, the closest that I can give him to being a mermaid, since the code, like, I tried transforming him into a mermaid. It doesn't work. The game does not handle it well. Actually, that's one running theme throughout all the games. Other than the PSP game, and specifically however the hell Rakes is doing it, there's no other way There's no other time when actually transforming the main character has resulted in anything aside from the game just immediately exploding. So, yeah, it just bring that up. Now, there's technically water on this map, however, you can probably guess how effective that'll be. Because we can go hide in the water, and then they'll just shoot at us until we all die. So, that's not going to do much for us. In fact, I just noticed the tile that I need to get that spear. Like, let me go ahead and cancel out of that turn. The tile I need to get that spear is right here. I believe I need medium biorhythm for that. And then, yeah, there's like a 1 in 10 chance that it'll be a pike. I can actually get a trident at this point as well. I think that's high biorhythm to get a trident. Yeah. As far as making that happen... What's up, kiddo? What's up? Hang on one sec. I believe my child needs a cheese stick. And I'm back! Oh, you want cheese sticks? Well, I guess you're just gonna have to run down to Sam's and get a crap load of cheese sticks then. Alright, let's see. I can relate to the mermaids as a Floridian. I also get a bonus when standing in water. Also against sharks, alligators, crocodiles, and 5 types of venomous snakes. What about the cranes? You can't forget about the cranes and the friggin' flamingos. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone just starts out with an innate, like, plus 50 against flamingos, because they probably got no defense to speak of. But, you know, it's there. Is there anyone else he can punch out? I guess we got Brat back here. So, Formino is one of those interesting ones where if you can isolate the leader, you can kind of end the fight early, but other than that, you really want to go and wipe out the rest of the team. So yeah, that's going to be a bit of an issue, as you might be able to tell. Alright. Whoa. Okay, we're getting weird lag again. God dang it. I really like that lag to stop being a thing. I think what we're gonna do is make that lag stop being a thing. Bam! I made it stop being a thing! Now we need some way to actually look at chat. Right. Hang on. Let's see here. How do I pull this up on my phone? Come on, telephone. Oh! Okay, well that is some fantastic news right there. There may, just may, be a possibility to make a randomizer of TOPSP. Maybe. Obviously, okay, really, this guy, he just dodged 2 90% in a row, and then almost insta-killed, or halfway killed Sushi over here. So yeah, the odds of actually losing somebody are pretty darn high. I think we'll still be able to win it, just because, you know, main character OP and all that, but still. I needed to pick up more healing leaves before coming here, that was the problem. That's a dang shame. Alrighty. Alrighty. Let's get fish stick over here. Then stand there, you go over here. Actually, no, let's get you in the water. So I'm going to send the other two kind of around this way. Maybe they'll be able to pull a bit of a flank. Just maybe they'll be able to pull something off. Thankfully, because of their increased defense in the water, you know, hopefully we'll be seeing some good coming out of that. It's just, yeah, I really would not expect this fight to go well. Let's just start dumping items on everybody because this might be their very last fight. So yeah, if you didn't see it before, this is an Ironman run. So if the main character dies or if we lose the fight, then well, I guess we really would just only lose the fight if the main character dies. So yeah, if the main character dies, that's the end of the run. So again, that ferry run managed to get through all the games. I mean, just barely in some cases. I mean, like one case in March of the Black Queen, I accidentally used the Sun card and they wound up with like 1 health, I think it was. So yeah, we've had some close scrapes. I think Knight of Lodis is probably the easiest of all of them, just because so many of the emblems give you so much abuse that you can potentially do. But yeah, those two that I'm sending off on the left, they're probably going to go take care of the 2 casters as usual. Normally the right side just needs to hold up until, up until those guys can do their job. I didn't exactly optimize the team for that. I really wanted them to be a little bit over-leveled before coming here. But unfortunately, yeah, this is going to be the situation. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get... probably going to have Alphonse running around and just, like, ultimate death-punching everybody. He's going to need a little bit of healing. Hopefully he can roll these 45% dodges, which he's not doing very well right now. And we might have to sacrifice 1 or 2, but as long as we keep Grimal boxed in, he's kind of the only one that can... he does the most damage by far, so let's see about that. Now, why don't you go over here? Baldric, unfortunately, doesn't even have armor because we couldn't afford it. That's one of those other things I meant to go back to town for. So half of them are coming in naked. So he fell asleep, hadn't slept for a long time till then. Well, sometimes need sleep. Guess you need it for some kind of surviving or whatever. But, yeah, sleeping for survival, generally a good idea, turns out. So it's funny, the other day had a discussion with somebody in regards to the stats, the way that they do the stats differently in this one. And yeah, generally their impression was that everything was all utterly broken and unfixable and whatever. I don't know, personally I really like the way that the stats were done in this. So if you don't know what that is, you have everything looking a little bit like this. So you've got your strength, intelligence, and agility. Those are your 3 stats. You don't necessarily need anything else. Like, they didn't bring in all the complicated stuff and everything else. You just have every class specializing in, like let's say they get 1 point in one and 1.5, maybe half a point in another, and then nothing in another. So, for example, these guys are really good at agility, somewhat okay at strength, and then don't really have much going for them intelligence-wise. Well, I mean, I guess they're sort of okay intelligence-wise, but they only have 1 move that they can use that scales off it. But yeah. Run ended and we had to restart. Last map I saw with 2 armies joining and 3 lords. Wait, what? Which run? Was this the FE run? Child. Your thingy wouldn't turn off if you would stop turning it off. Here you go. Well, I don't know. You just hit the button. It's fine. There you go. There you go. See, he's moving. It's okay. Blippi didn't freeze. It's okay. Wow. That's impressive. So yeah, this morning our kiddo got her iPad early because she ended up waking up early and she didn't feel super well. Normally we just give her a couple hours at the end of the day so she doesn't get hooked on the thing. But yeah, so she likes to watch this guy called Blippi. It's just like this guy that I assume used to be a cop or something that runs around kind of just acting like a goofball all over the place, and then getting into weirdly specific detail about a bunch of machines for some reason. Like they'll literally be like, "Oh, look at look, today we're gonna look inside a police cruiser. Look, here's all the spike strips and crap." I'm like, they let you dig through that? That's why I just assume he was a cop at some point, because they let him mess with stuff that you'd think he wouldn't be able to mess with. Like, at one point, he's just going through and, he's allowed to mess around with the inside of a helicopter. It's like, how are you doing this? You were a kid's show. How are you messing around with a helicopter? Hello there, Mr. Cow! Oh. Elwood got gimped. If he dies, we have to restart. Well, crap. And that sucks. How'd that happen? Like, did you just get some some bad level ups, or do you mean he just like got suddenly ganked during a fight or something? By the way, you should totally throw that randomizer on there. Totally, nothing goes wrong with that ever. Yeah, I only got to see a few minutes of that one, by the way. I'd assume that was relatively obvious, but yeah. I only got to show up and mention the Super Dragons, and that was about it. Which, Mr. Vale, I don't know if you've actually, if you've seen that one just yet. I technically put it up on the tubes yesterday. But yeah, there was a Fire Emblem randomizer, and sure enough, during that whole thing, it kept rolling in bizarrely overpowered flying dragon units. So, like for example, there was a guy with like, oh yeah, this guy pops in with all these, like he just rolled maximum possible on all his stats. And, like he also has an upgraded spear that also has also poisons on hit, and it also has like a 45% crit chance. So he like runs up and cleans up the entire map. It was pretty great. It's that fun type of chaos, you know? You don't want to, but why? What's the possible issue? I mean, it's clearly fun, and nothing ever goes wrong, ever! At all. It's just totally perfect. It's great. It's good stuff. Okay. And, Braxton, that is pretty darn awkward there, bud. It's like my dog over here decided to come by and be a little bit of a footrest, and he's just there licking the back of my foot. Like, nice to see you too. Don't know if you really need to be doing that, but alright, whatever. So normally I end up saving all these stat items until way later, but yeah, this is gonna be a bit of a different scenario. So far, we've kind of got this under control. If we not suspend. Where is it? We go to the list. This is the only place you can actually see everyone's health at once. So Fish Stick is the only one that's kind of in danger, so if somebody crits her, then it's kind of the end of her. But either way, Grimmal's taken at least a hit, so it's going to take a little bit to get him down. The rest of them are getting whittled down, it'll just be a matter of time. Once the right side arrives, or rather, once the, I should say, left side, actually shows up and they can start putting some pressure on the two casters, then we can actually make some headway here. I believe the mermaids have real sucky resistances, so we might have an issue with that. Let's see. Haven't seen Fire Emblems one. I'm halfway through the One-Eyed Night Slayer. I saw that you were streaming, yes. As he said, most mornings I'm over here. Ooh, book initiation, sweet. But yeah, the plan is, once everything gets going here, the plan is basically just to do this on mornings, and then do all the rest of my work stuff during the rest of the day. Lately, there have been a lot of cases when, just a whole bunch of stuff has been kind of janky during the day, so I've been kind of in a position where when I can do kind of either or, as it were. But yeah. So this is, I think this is a sustainable way to do this hobby. And of course he gets a crit, because why wouldn't he? Although thankfully it was just a push crit. If you didn't know, crits in this one, you actually only sometimes get your full crit damage. Usually if you end up getting a push, you don't get the full extent of what they could do. But yeah, if they end up being stuck against a wall or something, then you get the full crit, and it's pretty darn harsh. So okay, we got one guy over here that can finally get killed off, so we'll go ahead and take care of that. Fortunately, Flesh Spring is not doing so good on his dodges. Come on, please dodge. Thank you. Yeah, he's been a little bit iffy on that. Unfortunately, using these types of soldiers here, I haven't actually been able to go pick up the Dragon Shield. That would be really useful, since you can pick up that thing early on, but I don't have anybody with enough movement to be able to actually pick it up. So I suppose we could go sit around the pier long enough for the water to go up. In fact, actually, I think what we need is probably get a horn. So once we get a horn at some point, we'll go up there, and then, yeah, that should be enough for the water to rise up a little bit. And then we'll be able to go pick up that shield, and somebody will actually have some okay defense for a little while. I don't know how low we are on items, though, because I feel like we are probably running out of healing leaves pretty soon, because we've been burning through those every single round. Let's see. So, fair warning, Twitch doesn't pay out unless you have a certain threshold. Yeah, I know. I know. I don't really expect it to do very much for a good long while, to be completely honest. Like, it's just kind of in the building phase right now. And, okay, we got a little bit of a freeze. Let's give it a sec. Come on, emulator. You can pull this off. You got this. I really have to stop using Streamlabs. As nice as it looks, like this friggin', well, this whole situation is a pain in the balls. I'm really sick of seeing this. Alright, come on, let's try this again. Hang on one sec. But yeah, I'll try that whole integration thing. I'm actually looking at it right now, and I actually think it may have been the emulator that crashed. Because, yeah, the emulator's just frozen, everything else is functioning properly, so it's not like usual. And actually, the bummer part is it might not have... Oh, man, it might not have saved anything from this. Okay, save options. Setup... Oh! Okay. I don't know why that happened, but okay. For some reason, saving the emulator options caused it to reset. So, that's nice. That happened. Yeah, just so you know, I'm using no cache. This thing is, like, this thing sucks. It's utter garbage. Do I go for that? No, I should probably get Biorhythm up. But I don't really have any ways to get Biorhythm up without... Alright. Now, you know what? No. We don't need the item right now. We're going to go over here. We're going to do a little bit of healing, if you can. Let's go ahead and heal up Lord Edmund before they die. But yeah, so everything seems to be functioning properly. It was just the emulator that crapped out. Yeah, never use no cache. It's unfortunately the only one that seems to function properly with regards to OBS, at least as far as I'm aware of, because I've tried using RetroArch, I've tried using all the usuals. None of them seem to properly work. They either lag like crazy, or they just don't function at all. So as garbage as this thing is, it's the one I'm using for the time being. So there's that. Actually, if you were... Hang on, Pan, were you doing an FFTA run? See, no cache is the only one that works with SRW for you? Yeah. It's just... Yeah. That's the thing, like, it's... Normally, it doesn't have issues, but then suddenly, out of nowhere, it'll crash after you've had it up for a really long period of time. And the only issue is that, yeah, it doesn't save. If it crashes out, it doesn't save. Like, even your hard saves don't stick, because it does a sort of a save state to ROM kind of situation once you end up leaving. So, it save states the situation to its own settings rather than to the ROM. Let's put it that way. And unfortunately, I've needed to get some hits on Grimal here, but it's not really working out. So, okay, we're almost up this mountain. Come on, peoples. Got this. If only one of them makes it, which I'm kind of expecting at this point, that'll still be possible. But you need to go punch this cleric. I'm sick of all their healing nonsense. Get it out of here. Wow. Wow. Yeah, he can, that looks like he's going to be able to sort out that situation in a couple turns. So, that's pretty fantastic. Now, let's get Fish Stick over here. This one won't be countering very much, so you can go ahead and attack her. Yeah, go ahead and attack that one. Low chance to hit, but it'll be okay. You know, still only taking one in retaliation. Sushi's almost dead. Edmund can't really do very much. But Sushi can potentially get a thing off on... You know what? Tell you what. Ooh, some stuff happened. Some stuff happened! Hello, Ultra Richard. How's it going? Still got no cash and Zoomer sometimes. Nice to see ya. Yeah, let's see. Let me go to my thingy that actually tells me what's going on. Hang on, raid? there's raids happening? When? How is raid? I don't know how raid. Where's the thingy that tells me where the stuff? Okay, I don't. Whatever. We'll just leave that as it is. Yeah. So you go ahead and heal Sushi over here. There we are. So let's see. So Tactics Order on the PSP is great. Dang straight it is. Hello there, Destroyer. Hang on, wait. Yes. No, I didn't quite say hi yet. See, the Cerebral mod's looking to be really fun. Yeah, that one's been pretty darn great. I'm liking a lot of the changes to that one. It's been pretty darn satisfying, I'll say that much. There we go. Get a little bit more damage on Grimal here. Gets us slightly closer to winning it. The Cleric should be distracted with healing her own partially punched off head to actually bother with healing anybody else. And there we go. Let's go pick on this Wizard a little bit. Swish. There we are. I'm sure we'd be doing much better if I actually could afford to buy these guys armor. But, you know, you can't always get what you want. Or, yeah. Oh! Destroyer has hosted with 7 peoples. Well, thank you! Thank you for the hosty thing. I appreciate it. I'm still new to this whole Twitch thing, so I apologize. I'm not super clear on where all my notifications for everything are. Let's see, Graveyard Squad, gotta get my coffee and use emergency bathroom break. Well, either way, thank you. Thank you for all that, and ooh, we're up to many more peoples. So hello, peoples. Nice to see you. And yeah, this is the Mermaid run. So for any unfamiliar with it, the long and short of it is, this run consists of, well, obviously just using mermaids. Alphonse can't be changed, so he's just a basic soldier. The deal with mermaids is they're only good in water. More than half the game you spend either on land, or the only water available is frozen, and they actually take a massive penalty to their stats. It's about 50%, give or take. They take a pretty massive penalty to their stats pretty much the entire time, so they're going to be taking massive damage from everything, as you can probably tell from the fact that they're taking around 50 or so from every hit that comes their way. On top of this, there's a pretty tight budget to work with in this game in particular, just because you really can't. Later on, you can potentially grind up a little bit, but you get kind of diminishing returns and all that. So yeah, what I've done so far is this is actually kind of like the first boss fight, as it were. But I've gone ahead and gotten a few emblems on everybody. The big one being Fist Fight down here, which improves their punch damage to be equivalent to a later game Claymore. You get this by actually finishing off a unit with an unarmed attack, which usually does like 5 damage. Normally, it's kind of like one of those little hidden Easter egg type things. In this case, it's their best weapon, because yeah, obviously they're not going to be holding up too hot otherwise. So yeah, that's kind of the long and short of it. We're going to be trying to go through this whole thing. I've previously done a fairy-only run of this whole game, which resulted in a situation where even with max level, with all of the emblems that they could possibly, want, with all the bonuses that they could possibly want, they were still doing about the same damage as the main character would on any normal run. So it's very possible that we might not even be able to do more than like 5 damage to the end boss, but we'll get there. Even if they have to be beaten down over the course of half an hour, we'll get there. So yeah, right now we've finally established control over both parts of the fort. Yeah, these archers are taking pretty hefty damage. Yeah, let's go ahead and get Baldric out of the way. I don't think I really need to. Can I even heal him? Yeah, I guess I probably should heal him, huh? So I wonder if this will end up being easier or harder than fairies. At least fairies can spam kisses on Steve and fire lasers. Yeah, no, this is going to be way harder than the fairy run. Because the fairy run, they had magic missile, which scaled pretty well off their stats. They could use ranged weapons, which scaled really well off their dex. Their evasion was amazing. They could give each other infinite turns if they needed to. So that basically allowed me to do that whole Steve strategy, where I would go and have one character that was really overpowered. I mean, by fairy standards anyway. The one character that could actually do damage, and yeah, could just go and spam their turn over and over and over, which interestingly enough does give them an attack buff. The weird part is I didn't realize what the story was with that buff. It doesn't even mention it in the description. But Later on, when I went back, when I went to go play OB64, it turns out, yeah, they actually give a buff and a small heal in that one. So apparently, that attack buff is just a hidden feature that they didn't really mention in this one. So he was getting like 5% extra damage or so with every turn. So yeah, ultimately he was able to do 100 plus on the boss, but you know, it's less than stellar given that standard damage is like 300. So oh well, oh well. All right, can you finish off this wizard with your axe, please? Oh, no. Well, they just got ruined by an old man. Fine. Okay, Reeves, can you finish off this old man, please? See all the Steves? Yeah, so that was Steve the Murder Fairy. He kind of turned into a bit of a meme over the course of the run. Alright, now let's go punch out these archers so they stop doing all their flank damage. This should be the end of this particular archer. There we go. So finally we have relative control of the map. They don't have a healing element anymore, they don't have a casting element anymore, and for the most part their range stuff is dealt with. Their melee guys are not really the biggest threat in the world. Sushi is more than likely going to die, so I'm going to move them over here. I don't know how many healing items I have left, since it doesn't really tell you in this game. But yeah. So there we go. But now, for those that are joining in from the other place here, I do these kinds of runs pretty regularly, and generally show up every morning, and I will remember to do those dang panels one of these days, whenever I happen to remember to do so. Yeah, I just haven't remembered yet. One of these days, my memory will function, and that's what will happen. But yeah, I mostly do Bizarro challenge runs of all kinds of old strategy games. And then occasionally Armored Core, because those two things go together super well. And then XCOM likes. So, there's that. Though those are pretty rare because, well, they take a while to get going. Even though I do like them very much. I might do Enemy Unknown pretty soon. So I think once I finish up with current runs, and provided I can get a lot of other stuff stable, I'm going to go ahead and try to go do the XCOM Enemy Unknown randomizer. Alright, dude. Really? Do you really gotta keep stealing our loot? You really gotta do that? Stole another upgrade item? See, nothing bizarre about beating all 4 Ogre games, only fairies. Oh, set a schedule already? Dude, I will, okay? God! It's a thingy, and technically speaking, it's on there. It's just, it just doesn't look too good. Anyway, so, I doubt there's anyone in this chat who hasn't done the same at least once. Yeah, no, totally, just everyday normal stuff that you see all the time. Just definitely a thing that everyone wants to do and thinks about doing and pulls off. Just regular basis, all the time. Never not been a thing that people did. Alright, very good chance. Yeah, we don't have enough items to actually... Alright, I think we're gonna have to just go for a risky one. So we go here. Okay, so Sushi will die if they attack. What about Fish Stick? What's your deal? I need one of them to be able to survive one attack against it. Alright, they have a chance to survive, but it's not a very good one. Alright, Edmund, what about you? Yeah, you can live. As long as he doesn't get a crit, you can live, and we can just win this fight right now. Alright. Oh, they got Knight Certificate. I kind of expected them to get Don Quixote there, but yeah. So if you didn't know, you get emblems in this game. They're just like little mini achievements for everything you do. So Don Quixote, the one I was talking about, is if you get knocked out for 90% of your health, which I guess in that case wouldn't really apply now, would it? But it's when you get knocked down for 90% of your health, and yeah, you just basically can't cause crits unless you get the Miracle Emblem. So some of them are good, some of them are bad. Alright. Let's see, well yeah, so it'd be nice to know what games you're streaming on which day. Okay, well I typically don't know myself until I just go for whatever I feel like doing that morning. Alright, so there's the main grind option of the game, the Namita Chronology, or Chronology, whatever. And now we're going to go for a totally not trap. I do love that in this series they actually explain what's going on with all the walls, because in this one they basically open up the gate as soon as you win the fight. It's like, why was he able to go in? So he happily goes in, presumably thinking that the defenders have given up. And yeah, sure enough, he gets himself captured like an absolute genius, and then stays captured for a few hours, and that's about it. So, let's see, all my Ogre playthroughs devolve into angel-only runs, to be honest. They're like tall fairies. Yes, with sweet laser powers. They're evolved fairies. If it was Pokemon, you'd basically have, you have a housefly, and then it evolves into a fairy, and then that evolves into an angel knight. And then presumably they just, evolve into what I assume would just be a tomcat after that. They're just, flying around, oh man. That would be awesome. Just they evolve at level 45 or something, and they're just flying around, and it's just Danger Zone playing the entire time. That'd be great. I'd love it. I want to go make one of those memes now where what's it? You know how they have those ones for all the crappy mobile games? Like, oh yeah, level 1 grunt over here, level 5 Mega Beast, level 80 God Champion, whatever, and they're just slapping more spikes on him every time. So one of those stupid things. But yeah. Is the tide rushing? Well, gee, I wonder where all this water is coming from. Also, friggin' wonderful dungeon here. I do appreciate the fact that they added these little details here, because they literally had, death by water dungeon, more or less. It's an interesting old-timey tactic that they threw in there. Though he's probably going to have weird, foot diseases for the rest of the game. I guess we're going to ignore that. Alright, moving forward. Now, we're gonna get a cutscene as soon as we go to Vespa. Technically speaking, what we could go for, since we're already in a town and we can already do all our training here, what I want to probably do, in fact, we're gonna do a little bit of training, and then we're also gonna go get a couple more units. So let me double check that the cheat is active first of all, because this is accomplished with a cheat. What's up, kiddo? What's wrong? Where'd you put it? I know you want your iPad, but where'd you put it? It's over there. You gotta bring it to me. It's I want my dang iPad. Need my blippies. Cheats. There we go. Sorry that it was paused there for a sec. So yeah, it is active. God dang it. It's a volume thing. Sorry, this is some weird volume bug. For some reason, it just goes to max volume the second a sound source is canceled out and then reintroduced. No idea why. All right, so people, give me some good fish names. What do we got? See, don't forget to buy pants for Baldric. Maybe not pants, Mermaid and all. Top pants? Shirt armor sounds good. We'll you know what, we'll just get them a dinner plate they can strap to their chest. It's probably an improvement. But alright, I'll come up with one of them. I'm gonna need you guys to come up with another. I'm gonna go for Long John Silver for one of these. Because I was thinking about it during breakfast today. I'm like, man, I can't believe I didn't call them Long John Silver. I mean, Flesh Spring is pretty strong, don't get me wrong. Which, yeah, if you weren't aware of what the joke was there, Flesh Spring is a weird translation error. Or wait. Silver, not spring. Sorry. My bad. But yeah, there's a weird translation that came from the PSP version of Lucht, wherein yeah, one of the characters that spawned in had a name that literally translated to Flesh Spring, which is, he's the hero that everybody wanted. That cheat is not working. No, do not hire that. What the hell's going on? Okay, utility, cheats, what the deal is. It says it's active. Alright. There we go. Let's get this done. Yeah, there we go. Just need to turn it on and off. So they are a chaotic mermaid. But we need another mermaid name. Narwhal, Beluga, Meg. I like Meg. Hang on one sec. Alrighty, so a quick thing then. We're actually gonna have to cut this off early today. I just got a call that I gotta go take care of some stuff here. So yeah, we'll go ahead and call this one Meg. We'll go ahead and save it, and then yeah, it looks like gotta go handle a few things pretty much immediately here. So gotta go get ready for that. Sorry for the abrupt ending. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for stopping by. Actually, raidy thing. How do I? Crap, I don't know how to do the raidy thing right now. Twitch, log on to Twitch on the actual thingy. I need somebody to raid. Anybody got a name in mind? Feel free to post away. Alright. Come on, Twitchy thing. Actually, hang on, screw it. Let me just go get on the other computer. One sec.
But enough about me. Let's get into these wonderful donations. Starting off with a $250 donation by Crescent Fang. Saying the Awful Games blog my favorite. Love to see